you've been told like this. We've been
Right.
forced to think like that if you're not in equity, maybe you're not acceptable in society.
100% was in equity. I was not able to take the advantage of, let's say, the dips or let's say certain plans which, let's say, I'm now making.
When you see your portfolio in red,
Yeah.
and when you have money in your account already, then you see that as an opportunity.
Yeah.
When you have no money in your account, but in your portfolio in red, you see that as an opportunity to take out that. But one thing which I would say for the young folks or whoever is starting investing in market, that market will give you return once you have no need to earn from market.
Hello, guys. Welcome to the Aspros podcast again. And like how we have always promised, that all the podcasts that we'll do on this channel will be a bit different in terms of their stories. Not the usual or the status quo stories where, let's say, some like the usual journey that you expect. There is obviously they reach there, but there is some nuanced angle attached to it, or it has a different flavor or an element attached to it, which makes the entire story different. So today we have Rahul Sharma with us, who is one of the senior leaders at Johnson Controls. And during his journey, yes, he has been able to achieve a particular corpus. He has uh, he's been able to buy good real estate for himself, for his family. But this entire corpus that he has built, uh, that has not come from equity. That has not come from stock market or by investing in mutual funds or doing SIPs. In fact, he tried doing it, but most of his investments, in particularly in stock market, were never fruitful to him. He's still equity pro, but the idea behind this podcast is that how can someone also be able to build wealth without stock market? Because in recent times, we feel that this is absolutely not possible. So, hi Rahul, welcome to the podcast.
Hi Vishwas, thanks for having me.
So Rahul, if you can just take back us in time, like how your entire journey started, a bit about your background, where you come from, if you can start with that.
Sure. So I come from a small place, Agra in UP. My father was in army, so we've been multiple places.
Right.
Finally, we settled down in Agra, and the situation was, we were okay to do, but it was never enough. But what my father could do, he did his best to give us education and everything. Uh, After that, I had to move out. Once I have done my engineering in Agra and look for the jobs, I got few start very less, I would say, permanent nature jobs. It was very
Right.
temporary. And then finally in 2004, I got an opportunity to work with a good brand. Uh, I stayed there for around 20 years, and I climbed around 13 odd roles over there in different business units. Then finally, I changed my line from there and came to Johnson Control in October 22, and since then I'm leading service excellence here. Uh, from the perspective of wealth generation, yeah, it was never the usual way, because I think in 2000, when I was going through this journey 2004 to 2015, I would say, the stock market was not in a very great shape, uh, and there was very less knowledge. Social media was not so active where we could get the
Mm.
information and all. That's why I started with the usual stuff. Started my journey by putting NSCs, National Saving Certificates. Uh, Created a 8 years row of investment cycle on that, which have given me next 8 years the continuous return, which I invested further in different like PPF
Mm.
kind of tools. That time was there where I was not able to go towards equity because of the less lack of information. And then 2008 happened, and suddenly everybody was talking bad about equity market, and I
Right.
never felt like going there again. My journey for the mutual fund started somewhere in 2012 or 2013, where I started putting the SIPs, regular SIPs. Then I was sold some ULIPs, which were mistakes, I would say, done by me, because I was sold something which was not so good, which they claimed to be. So then the equity journey which was going through mutual funds, it was not yielding much of a positive results. Maybe the market was that kind till 2018.
In today's terms, if let's say if you look at the corpus, like what is, let's say, your corpus amount, and number two, how is it divided in terms of the asset allocation, if you can share that.
Yeah, so I have gone to 30x of my annual expenses. I will not go into details of the amount,
Right.
but uh, 30x is something which has got accumulated, and I think it's distributed around uh, 50% in real estate, around, not 50, actually 40% in real estate, 37-38% is in debt, and rest in equity.
Got it.
I am working towards increasing my equity exposure, but I'm not taking that much big bets
Right.
which I have taken towards the uh, debt amount.
Right. So, generally, at this stage, we do see that a lot of people have exposure towards equity. But in your case, you have explored debt instruments a lot, right? And generally,
Yes,
what we see is that a lot of people miss out on debt part. The debt portion is really less. Uh, and even in debt, what most people generally consider is fixed deposits and nothing beyond that. If you can tell me a bit about the entire journey of your debt investments, because uh, right now you're saying that it's about 37-38%, but I remember that you once told me that this number was even higher during your initial phases of your
right,
career.
right, right.
And why I want to discuss that is because even if, let's say, obviously returns might not have been 12% of what, let's say, SIPs or mutual funds can offer, but uh, did it provide you a lot of stability? Did it provide you a very good cushion in terms of preserving your wealth over the period of time?
See, what it gave me was, it didn't give me a choice to take out that money.
Hmm.
That was the, I think that was the benefit, I would say, which worked out, because it was very easy to take out money from equity, and I did that both
Yeah,
the times, right?
yeah,
Um, Even though it would have been a better decision to keep on with that equity, I was not having any chance to keep the take
hmm.
out money from the debt. So I think that was one thing. And what like why I have gone towards the debt portion was, I'm a person who is good in finance, and I read on taxation. So I wanted to be my investment towards the tax efficiency,
Got it.
and tax efficiency was there in PPF, EPF,
Right.
and other instruments like Sukanya Samriddhi. We opened a
Hmm.
account for my child also. In fact, I would say I was so much clear about some of the debt instrument. The moment Atal Pension Yojana was launched, I opened an account for my wife. I got my family enrolled towards that. Though the amounts is very low, right? But you don't know. At least you have a cushion of, say, whatever money you get at the age of 60. You have some money. It would not be that you don't have money at all, or you have uncertainty in between. So uh, all these uh, all these tools which I have used
Right.
throughout my career, they gave me less options to take out the money. I think that worked out to
Right.
create a wealth by force, I would say.
Right. Can you just give me a list of, let's say, for example, you mentioned EPF, PPF, then Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, the kind of returns that you were generating out of all these schemes, and the list of it, which also, because people can also explore them.
Sure. So current rate of EPF is around 8.1%, which is
Right.
quite good. Earlier it was no limit. Today it
Right.
is limit, but I would still find it um, good, even if you are paying taxes on it, because the returns are tax free.
Right.
Second is PPF, which I have taken into consideration. It gives you 7.1%. If we are taking 6% inflation, which most of the gurus in equity world suggest, they want to give us higher number. But even if 1.1% higher, which is tax free, is there,
Right.
it is better than, I would say, 10% of before tax
Right.
kind of situation.
Right.
Then Sukanya Samriddhi gives you a lump sum amount at the age of child when she is ready for the marriage or the higher education, definitely. Um, that is giving around, I believe, I might be wrong, but I think 9% or something,
Right.
which is a quite a good amount. There are limits to how much you can invest each year on that, but still it is gonna be a, a good healthy amount at all the stages. So if you look at from this way, that I started my career initially 10 years. I was working on instruments like and Kisan Vikas Patra or the
Hmm.
National Savings Certificate. Once I was done with that, then I moved towards a different line of products which were tax efficient, and that has given a returns in terms of stability and benefit of, I would say, less distress when market
Hmm.
goes ups and downs,
Right.
because suddenly you see your equity is going down to 25%, but then your overall portfolio is increased by your debt portion, and there are annual returns out of that also.
Given that your debt portion was always high, and when did you, let's say, finally start to diversify? When you, let's say, because obviously now it is down to 37, 38%. Earlier, I think it was more than 50, 60% also.
Yeah,
Uh, when was the moment then you finally realized that maybe I need to diversify more? And what did you learn about equity? Because, like you said, your equity experience was really, really bad in the initial years. But now, yes, you started to move your money there. How did that change came, and what was the thought process behind it?
sure. And okay, let me put it that way, that once I was having a mental peace about one thing, that I can stay without having any money for say 10 years,
Right.
you know and that was kind of money which was available in my debt portfolio. That was the time when I decided, okay, let me take some risk. um, I was gaining age, I had some time to study, I read a lot. Initial 2 years I was just studying about investing and all, because initial years when I was doing my, just like anybody else does,
Hmm.
my friend told me I just put
Right.
money over there, that way it was not working, so maybe I made a lot of mistakes over there. So I
Right.
rebooted my thinking about it, and then I started following some people,
Hmm.
learning about the equity fundamentals, technicals, uh, picking on the stocks, picking on the mutual funds, right, mutual funds, and then slowly gradually I did, I would say, I played with some of the money.
Hmm.
Initially I played with 50,000 and wiped out entire money. So that was the good learning, because that was the tuition fees I had to pay
Hmm.
for. But in the next turn, when it came down to the COVID time,
Right.
I was ready with money in my hand to invest, and that money was available because it was surplus to invest in debt portions, and
Hmm.
that's where I think, because of the timing was right, I started investing, and it given me good cushion. I would say my uh, initial days have given me a risk cushion for keep on investing. So yeah, that's where I thought of diversifying into different type of things.
Hmm.
I consolidated my this crypto portfolio. I looked at initially from mutual funds only, but then I am investing now in Indian stocks. I have international portfolio. I hold stocks in US, UK, and then other countries as well.
Got it. And are you able to do this now all individually, or you have kept a wealth manager in place who is taking care of your equity portfolio?
Thankfully, I'm able to do it myself so far.
Okay.
I might
Mhm.
be more efficient if I take help, but somehow I think it is important for one to learn.
Right.
Until unless I learn, I would not be having trust on others. Or if I'll be having too much trust, then I'll be losing money like I did
Right.
in earlier days.
Generally, what the trend that we are seeing now is that most of people, especially young folks, my age, or let's say people in early 30s, they've shifted 100% of their portfolios to equity, right?
Yeah,
And that is what they think that And even personally, me also, I was also of the opinion that yes, especially in the early years, that yes, 100% of your portfolio should be in equity, and it that can be done for a very long time. uh, Fixed income is bad and you should not maybe explore that. And but soon after, what I realized, and this has happened to me, like now I'm planning to buy a home. So now I'm thinking of this कि गलती करी कि सारा पैसा मैंने equity में डाला, because uh,
Timings are
right. So
right.
because if let's say market is down right now, I cannot take an exit. I If let's say I do want a certain corpus out of it, even if it's let's say a net not at a loss, or it is just up by 4-5%, I'm still making a loss because I'm not at that XIRR or the return level which let's say I should be exiting at, right? Uh, so and you have done it very beautifully in the sense that you have made sure that you have reserved the fund, let's say, for your daughter's education. You have reserved the fund for your house. You have reserved the fund maybe for something else, right? You have always been able to make that bucket, right?
Right.
So tell me a bit about this, why this is very important, and how should one plan it, because in your case you have done it bang on almost for everything in your life.
Oh, it was not so bang on all the time. I think I was little shaken till 2018 and 2020 even.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be that way right now. But one thing which I would say for the young folks or whoever is starting investing in market, that market will give you return once you have no need to earn from market, and
Hmm.
that happens when you have a good corpus behind you for your emergency funds. You have a good health insurance, you have a good term insurance with you, uh, and you have some money which is lying there in account for meeting any requirement.
Right.
And when you put money after that, uh, which is excess with you, that gives you very much clear idea that you don't need to take out that money at the distress point, right? So what I was doing whenever I was investing, I was investing 100%. So like I was 100% equity, 100%
Hmm.
debt, right? And that situation could have been avoided to sell my old mutual funds. Maybe they would have been doing very good right now, but because I started with same philosophy that it's a FOMO, I'm missing out on the equity, I have to catch the bus and I need
Right.
to start investing in the market. So I think it's very important to go into some of the debt funds, whatever you like, right? uh, Take out government schemes,
Hmm.
fill them properly. It's not for only tax saving, but it is more of it makes sense, if you are, if your PPF is giving you 7.1%, it's equivalent to, if you're in 30% slab, 11% or 10.5% return pre-tax return in the market. So that's something which I would suggest that, please have your
Right.
needs and wants taken care. You know, I would not say wants should be very high, but yeah, whatever you are planning for, and then go to equity. It will give you a lot of confidence, because when market goes down, very easy to say you should buy.
Hmm.
If you don't have money and your next installment is something which is due and you need that money, you would be doing distress sell.
Right.
I was able to make money because I was not needed to take out that money on time
Right.
whenever the market was on low side. So recent fall, you can see from 26,800 Nifty came to 21,000, right? And I was continuously investing. So,
Right.
and I built that corpus. Now, my thesis is like, keep some uh, fund with you to put it in right time in the market or in the schemes which are there for
Right.
government.
Yeah, and this does make sense because this happened with me when market was at 25,000. So market when went from let's say 23, 25, I was investing. But when it came down, so this entire uh, thing of saving for home, I also quit my job. So I started my own thing. So at that time, you're not able to invest
Of course,
because you would want to, uh, because obviously you can't predict what kind of fund you would require in order to service these months or something which will come up. And then on the top of that, if let's say real estate also comes in the picture, then obviously you will not be able to invest. Because 100% was in equity, I was not able to take the advantage of, let's say, the dips, or let's say certain plans which, let's say, I'm now making. So yes, you're 100% right.
And
That
it plays a psychological role as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
So when you see your portfolio in red,
yeah,
and when you have money in your account
yeah.
already,
Hmm,
then you see that as an opportunity.
hmm, yeah,
When you have no money in your account but in your portfolio in red, you see that as an opportunity to take out that money,
right.
because then you are going to jump on the bandwagon of saying everybody is saying that market is doomed, nothing is going to come back.
Hmm,
So that psychology is also something which is important to keep in control, and that can happen only when you have enough money with you, and
right.
you are certain that your to-do list is not going to be stopped with that. Sorry, I
Right.
cut you down
No, no,
in
no
between.
issues. Absolutely. I think a very powerful line, the one that you said initially, that when markets are in red and you don't have money in your account, you see that as an opportunity to take out money. And when money is in your account, then you see it as a good opportunity to further invest. So, yeah, that's absolutely true. And that is why, even I have started to feel that certain instruments are important. I can't neglect them. So, for example, I never thought I'll invest in bonds, but I did. I never thought I'll invest maybe even in something like a fixed deposit, because uh, I think one of the things that we ignore, and I'm not saying this is an anti point to maybe equity markets. I am an equity guy, so I'm not denying that at all. But at times I do wonder that if, let's say, when people say that FDs only give 6 to 7% and you're not beating inflation post tax. Yes, on technical terms that's fine. I agree with you. But there is something also known as primary income. If my primary income is growing at, let's say, 20% year on year, or let's say 30% year on year, and although obviously you also can't predict that, but if that is happening with you, uh, then this doesn't matter, right? Yes, I would have maybe made 1 2% extra or 3% extra, but uh, I need to fill in certain buckets which, let's say, can be needed in the future, be it in the form of debt, be it in the form of SIPs, be it in the form of gold, be it in the form of anything, right?
Right.
Uh, because I see my some of my friends, or even I take my case, where not investing in gold is really hurting us now, because we are at that age when we have to marry, and our mothers have been telling us that वो तनिष्क में एक SIP
SIP
स्टार्ट कर
होता
दो जो
है,
उनका
yes.
वो होता है. एंड
Right.
नाउ व्हेन वी सी एट इट, तो हमारी हिम्मत ही नहीं होती है कि यार अब गोल्ड कहाँ पहुंच गया, राइट?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I think everything has its importance, and being very blinded towards it, especially in young age, that happens because our adrenaline, our confidence, and everything is
I
so.
would say market noise is so much.
Yeah,
You've been told like this. We've been
right.
forced to think like that. That if you're not in equity, maybe you're not acceptable in society.
Yeah,
In a discussion in your office or anywhere, if some people are talking about the equity and you cannot be participating into it, then you are left out.
yeah,
And that's something which becomes a peer pressure or social pressure.
yeah.
So any decision taken due to social pressure, I would not say it will work, right?
Yeah, and we are seeing the aftermath of it, because if you look the growth in terms of the demat accounts that have happened, that has happened at a very rampant pace post COVID and during COVID. But uh, because, like you said, the way that people have been drawn in is through this market noise. Now, the result of that market noise is that people are now vanishing away. Now, the most demat accounts have started to become dormant,
Dormant, yeah.
or they're very less amounts, which, let's say, they've forgotten, like how it happened with crypto also. So that is not a good thing, no? Because uh, the rule of the equity market is that you have to stay invested for a
Stay.
long time, and you have to keep doing your SIPs. Do you also, let's say, uh, think, like you already said that you have 30x of your annual expenses? Do at times you sort of go back at this number and see that is 30x enough, or should I preach for more? Uh, do you think that thought comes back to your head again and again, or are you comfortable that yes, 30x is I'm very much fine with.
Am I nervous or not? Yes, I am. I am
Hmm.
hell lot of nervous on that point because it's not going to be a number. You
Right,
cannot put a number to anything. What if I live 40 years or 50 years
right.
additional? Nobody knows that. But yeah, uh, how I deal with that is definitely speaking to some of the people who are doing that already.
Right.
And then one thing I learned, uh, that increasing your lifestyle expense is always, you know big spoiler on your wealth generation, which we were able to control.
Hmm.
Me and my wife and my entire family supported very well. uh, I think we did not increase our living expenses to a very high level.
Hmm.
At a certain point of time I was able to save 70% of my earnings.
Right,
So that way I think we are in control what we spend. Okay.
right.
And it's okay, sometimes you can spend less. It's completely in your control. If you are seeing the market conditions or the condition of the money you have is not so good, you can always
Hmm.
cut down on the expenses. And if you ask me the 30x or 40x, I'm not a big fan of that. But yeah, that's there. It's a number.
Yeah,
But definitely I'm nervous, of course. I would not be saying otherwise. uh, but yeah, we'll see. I think there is a confidence because I've seen a lot of people doing it, and I'm not sure whether I'm doing it or not, right?
yeah.
These are the thoughts which I struggle with on daily basis. But thing is, because of this financial journey I was able to do it.
Yeah,
So financial independence is much more important, I would say.
got it.
Retiring early is required, not required. Your
Yeah, yeah.
condition
Obviously.
gives you any different. It can be very different for many people.
Yeah,
But I think more important is financial independence. And independence is not something you have every money in your account or in your
right,
just investment,
right.
but at least you have coverage of say have 5 years or 10 years of
Hmm.
bad time if you're gonna get. And that's what I would say to when whoever is starting the career, they should keep this buffer. They should start working towards this buffer
Yeah,
so that they would not be in a situation of taking wrong decisions because of the scarcity of money.
yeah.
Because when you are in pressure of money, you most of the times you take wrong decisions.
Got it. Thank you so much, Rahul, for coming us and enlightening us. This was a bit different, I guess, and people will share that in the comments. So thank you so much for joining with us today.
Thanks, Vishwas. Thanks for having me again.
Thank you.